I think I'm live. Hello, hello, Zen friends. Happy weekend to you. Those of you that celebrate your weekend. Uh, Happy Friday evening to most of you. Happy Saturday morning to some of you on the other side of the planet. So glad to have you here. And you made it another week. Hope you had a great week. And I'm excited to see what messages come in from Spirit for us. A lot of energy going on in the world. Feels very heavy today for some reason. It's one of those, I don't know, I didn't look at the astrology, but it does feel kind of heavy. Kind of feels like you just want to cuss at the world. So let's bring in some love energy and transform that. And for ourselves, first of all, letting that big love flow into our hearts, into our minds, into our bodies, into our spiritual energy fields, our auras, our chakras, our meridians of our body, our spiritual body. Let it just fill us up and flow out into the world. Let it do whatever it wants to do out there to help raise the vibration of the planet. And when we join together to send this love out to the world, it multiplies out to the world, doesn't just impact us. It and doesn't just add on top of each other, it multiplies it. So we'll do that. So hit the singing bowl 3 times. And as we're doing that, something that can help us raise our own love vibration is thinking of something that we're so grateful for in this moment. And then just thank the Creator for it. It puts us in that higher love vibration, allows us to receive messages from Spirit, and it acts as like this echoing beacon. We attract what we're grateful for and what we're focusing on. So let's do that. We'll start off by taking a big deep breath. Come back to right here, right now, if you'd like to join me in doing that. So here we go. Hold for as long as you like. Beautiful. Right, here we go. Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much for joining me in doing that. Much better, much better. Feel better energy, right? So thank you guys so much for joining me in doing that. And welcome, everybody. Hope you're having a wonderful, wonderful evening. And of course, in wonderful change energy, YouTube has changed something in the chat. Before you'd have your screen names, now it has your @ sign. So most of you have it that it's around the same. So if I don't recognize some of them, forgive me. So it'll be interesting how it plays out here. But I will include all of those. Show up different for the um what am I trying to say? The pinned comments where I put uh the little timestamps. Ooh, it's gonna be fun. Ooh. Maybe I need to drink some more coffee. Luckily, it's spirit that speaks and not bruddaZEN once we get started on the reading. So that's good. So welcome. If you're new to my channel, new to these readings, welcome, welcome. We got a great group of Zen friends, huge hearts, great senses of humor. So welcome, welcome. There's always room for more Zen friends, and definitely in this day and age, a sense of humor is really, really important with all the ridiculousness, um, that goes on in human adventures, right? So we just have to laugh, right? Um, how everything works is in the description box of the video. I just don't want to go into all that tonight. So if you guys, most of you know how it all works, so you can check out the description box of the video. The only thing I want to make sure is we have one more drawing next Tuesday for giveaways. So here is the link to that if you haven't checked that out. We have had 3 winners this um, month. We'll have one more, like I said, on Tuesday for a personal recorded reading. And Christina Lowe in the house. If you haven't checked out the video, here is a link to it. You actually won this week, so congratulations. um, be sure to check that out for your free reading. And then for the rest of you that haven't won this month, let's see, week 1 we had Ankita, whoops, and then we had Nelly Medeiros and then Christina this week. So we have one more left. So uh, it's exciting. And then I'll talk more about July in the announcement video that I have on Tuesday. We're still going to have some giveaways, but it's going to be in conjunction with my new weekly podcast that I plan on putting out sometime in July, which is the easier path with bruddaZEN. So I'm excited for that. I'm backing off of everything else except for these live sessions and that weekly podcast. So we'll see what unfolds. You did, Christina. You did. So congratulations. I feel like you probably need that today. So some good news for you. All right. Um, yeah. So I'm wondering here. We'll see here. I don't, with this new format that YouTube put out here, I wonder if it's going to show up my YouTube channel members. Because Christina, aren't you a YouTube channel member? Um, doesn't show anything though. So, well, we'll see. We'll see what happens here. We won't spend a whole lot of time talking about all that stuff because we're here for readings, and so that's what we'll get into here. I don't think there's anything else I want to talk about. Yeah, that was it. All right. Your phone kept messing up. Maybe it needed to wait until now so that you could have the news right now. All right. So let me get my little list here. We'll start off with donations first. Um, it's going to be interesting with all these @ signs, but we'll battle through till we get used to it again here. So first will be Sun and Moon, and then Judith Duarte, and then Love is the most powerful force in the universe. Let me get that one here. Oh, just one powerful force is your @ sign. All right, so we'll do that. And then Rocky's World. And that's this one here. Yeah, these will have all the numbers after them, so this is going to be fun. We're going to have a positive attitude around it all. And then, of course, Christina Lowe. We've got yours here. I'll put a little dash after these. Okay, I think that's good. Woo. All right, and then we'll circle back around for, oh yeah, and then Yadi, we do have yours here as well. I will see with your timestamp here. I just saw it in the, um, let's see here, 6. So yours here. All right. So I think you're here right after Christina. There we go. So Yadi, you will be before Love is the Most Powerful Force's second one. All right. All right. Yeah. And then DEF 107, DEF 107. I see yours up there. And yours is a free reading. I do give my donations priority. So I those all get to be done first, and then I circle back around for those others. So that's how it works. All right. For tonight, for the tarot, we're going to use the Sufi tarot. It's a beautiful deck. So we're going to felt drawn to that one today. Got a couple different fortune cookies, which for the donations, you get a fortune cookie with your reading. So we'll pick from either the Power of Surrender, Little Sweet Dreams, or Absolute Affirmations. Yeah, no problem, Def. I just want to make sure that I didn't miss a donation somewhere, but we'll definitely donations get first priority, and then if any of my YouTube channel members come in for their free readings, they get second priority, and then I go on to the other free readings after that. So all that's listed in the description box of the video. I won't go into the whole process. If you guys want to check it out and see how it works, I won't waste time going through all that like I normally do. I'm going to kind of back off of all the blah, 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 just kind of getting back to basics. You know what? That's the kind of energy I'm feeling, at least like in this moment today. All right, so let's get started. Sun and moon. Let's grab your timestamp here. And I do put timestamps in a pinned comment at the end of the stream. And I try to do it as we're going along as well. So Sun and Moon, thank you so much for your donation and the unboxing sticker. So you'd like to have a clarifying read. Recently, Spirit pulled the Justice card. Okay, the Justice card and the Six of Wands. All right. Interpret this as BD having to go to court. All right. For entertainment. Oh, okay. And then for entertainment purposes only, could you please elaborate on what it means and when? You know what I'm going to say next. Please don't nosy. Spill all the tea. All right, let's take a look here. So we had pulled the Justice card and the Six of Wands previously, and the message that came through was that as BD having to go to court. All right. So let's see what we have coming in here. All right. So can you tell us more about what this is about? All right. So we do want those 3, this one, and those 4. Okay. Let's see. Let's put that over there. Let me put it over here. And let me put it down here. Sorry. Weird energy today. It's just I don't know what's going on. There just feels like there's agitation in the world. Did Mars go into something new? Maybe Mars went into a new planet, because Mars is that aggressive energy, and I definitely feel that in the air today. But we also have the 10 of Wands coming in here for BD, which is it's a kind of a dual type of card. You know, you can see how this feels like a burden, carrying a lot of energy, which of course is what I feel that energy is more so. The other can be like, look all the harvest they're carrying, but right now it feels like just a burdensome energy, carrying a lot on their back, carrying like the weight of the world. You know what's underneath it? The Justice card, number 11. Is the Six of Wands in there? No, we have the Sun card underneath there, which is all right. It's like the Six of Wands, which is you know, an abundance, a victory type of energy. So whatever this Justice card is, this court energy, it is ends up in being a victory. That's what the Six of Wands brings into a balanced energy, a positive energy. So we like that, just starting off the bat with it as well, right? Let me just make sure if you're done here. Okay, there. Yeah, good to see you too. You've been waiting all week to ask the question. Dun dun dun. All right. Um, so let's find out here. We got 3 cards and then 1 card and then 5 cards. So I feel like the 3 cards, the kind of energy, this is like what's leading up to it. And then the 1 card in the middle is the Shazam. And then the 5 cards after it is are you serious, Clark? uh is like the I feel like the T. This is the T over here. So let's take a look here. What are the things that have been leading up to this? We do have the Daughter of Coins, the Page of Pentacles. It's an energy of seeing worth in relationship to the outside world in a different way. So that's part of what's been leading up to this is this courage, right? Um, this energy of um, I deserve well, period. I deserve. Not I deserve that, I deserve more. I like that. So let's take a look here. We've got here the Four of Swords too. So the peace of mind, the rest, letting go of like expectations, but it feels more like expectations on themselves. And this freedom, this rest, this self talk has been changing. And I just feel like there's this whereas before maybe being a mat, being um, the overgiver, you know, the self-sacrificial lamb, that this has changed. And this is where this is leading toward, yeah, Nine of Coins, independence. I deserve to be independent. I deserve, again, this I deserve energy that's really been building up, and I feel like that's what's coming up here with BD, is that, you know, it would be an energy of, like, walking, like, "Fine, you just take everything I just want out of this situation," right? But that's, like, what happened before, but now it's like, "No, I brought a lot in, and so I want, uh, to take care of myself because I deserve this," kind of energy. So it's this kind of like this that's the kind of energy I feel like is building up to this. Everything's been building up to I deserve more in a situation. Let's see what this Shazam is here. We've got the Nine of Swords, yeah. All of the fears, that have been, raging and nightmare and insomnia, energy. But the Nine of Swords is letting go of the fears, and this makes sense with all the stuff that has been holding them back, and a lot of expectations that have been brewing have them to this point of going, "Psst," you know, I'm ready to let go of this people pleasing and what other people think and everything else. Big nurturing energy. So let's find out more here. Let's get into the tea. I feel like that confirms maybe things for you, but let's take a look. We do have the Lovers card, relationship energy. Okay. We understand that. You have the Ace of Swords, clarity, um, seeing things from a different perspective around relationship. lot of clarity in relationship that's come through. Wow. And then the 6 of Wands. You can't make it up that 2 cards out of how many? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So let's say 12 cards. That 2 of the cards that you talked about came back out. You just in a different deck, completely different deck from last week. So 6 of Wands is a victory, is a movement, is a flow energy. And I feel like there's this change. I deserve a win. I deserve more, but I deserve a win. And the number 6 numerologically numerology, according to numerology, right? Is like the unconditional love, but it's also mother, it's also nurturing energy. So I like this, that there's this self-nurturing that's coming in around this. And the 10 of Coins, I do feel with the Lover's card and the 10 of Pentacles, it does have to do with relationship, or thereby the end of one, right? That I what they're bringing back to me, and just how I just have to talk about this. Let's see. This was X number 3. So um I was we were in a relationship for 3 years, and it just wasn't working out. And so I'm leaving. They bought a house. I had been helping pay half the house payment and all the expenses for probably a year or so. And we bought furniture and stuff together, and I kind of um, didn't have a ton when I came in, but my money was helping buy all this stuff, right? Um, and it's like they got in a you know pissy ass mood and called me at work and said, "I just want you to know that whatever, if you're leaving, whatever you brought in is what you can take with you." And I'm like, "Oh, this is the way we want to play this, right?" And this is the energy I feel like BD will be experiencing if this resonates, because the response I said, "Well, you know, the house payment is due in a week. So the money that I would normally give you for to help you with the house payment, I will now need to purchase a bed and this and that instead of taking the stuff in the spare room. So I'll leave it up to you. What would you like to do?" And then they hung up. And then I got a voicemail later while I was in a meeting, and they were like, "Okay, that sounds good. Why don't you can take that, that, and that, and that." And I'm like, "That sounds better." But that's what I kind of feel is like I could have went like, "All right, whatever, you take it all, and here's the money, and over blah blah blah." But it was like there's this no, I help purchase all this other stuff, and I just want this to be able to live and have something to sleep on, kind of stuff. So I kind of feel like there is this, energy of that's, coming in here. And the High Priestess too, which is about wanting to step away to be by themselves, to see things from a higher perspective. But there is this nurturing type of energy and intuitiveness here. Um, I don't I don't feel um like it's gonna have to go into like in front of a judge, per se, like um, you know, a, not a trial or anything, but it doesn't I feel like they'll work it out, but it's gonna need to go to legal, because whoever they're involved with all this in um is gonna kind of be a putz in the beginning, if that makes sense. So, uh, yeah, so hopefully that helps a little bit there with that story too, just to bring some clarity on the energy that's kind of coming around all this. But I like this because it is about I deserve, I'm not going to be a mat anymore. I'm going to be, a wonderful, um, I don't know, not a mat. I'm not going to be a mat. I'm going to be a trap door. If you step on me, you're going to fall. There we go. Instead of a mat in front of a door, I am going to be a trap door. um, See, we've got as far as when Seven of Cups. Here's that Nine of Swords, which was the big dun da 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 facing it. I feel like this is July with the Seven of Cups. Um, Between with the Nine of Swords coming out again, I feel like July through September. So I feel like maybe 4th of July is when we have the sparks, right? The fireworks, but I feel like it's July, in the month of July, when it starts to heat up, and then between July and September, I do feel, this energy of discussions going back and forth and things like that. So that hopefully that gives you some clarity. Let's see. Kind of want to go to the power of surrender for your fortune cookie here. And let's see what we've got here. Do this one. Looks like there's two coming in here. Yeah, we have surrendered to creativity, which is let your imagination soar, stay open to all creative ideas about how to pursue a dream or solve a problem. So I like this open-mindedness and, for them to keep an open mind on resolutions, not thinking it has to be a certain way. And then also surrender to joy came in here for them. A key to positive change in your life or in BD's life is to let joy in and savor it. Um, Indulge in random acts of smiling during both the hard and easy times. Keep surrendering to more joy. And that's I know that's hard to go to, happen when we're going through a lot of crud in our lives. But joy and gratitude are what help raise our love vibration and transform things. So I like that. So that's what they have for your first one. I see you just post another one. So we'll circle back around eventually for that one. All right. Let me put that over here. So Judith Duarte, let's put your timestamp over here. Have to get used to these. I think I did it right. Yeah. Okay, good. So Judith, thank you so much for your donation and in general for tonight and tomorrow in Love with Devin. All right. Oh, this is so Judith, this is um Brenda, right? See just for anyone that came in later, the YouTube, and they're ever evolving and trying new things. The chat now has your at. You know how I don't know if you know or not, but you actually have an at, which is your ID, and then the name you put that normally appears, but now it's all the at ones in the chat where it wasn't before. So like I knew people by Brenda. And I'm like, wait a minute, this sounds familiar. And I'm like, oh, that's because that's you. So I have to get to know your guys's at the little at sign ID. All right. So we'll say Judith, which is actually Brenda. So if you guys don't know that and you don't want that, you might want to change those if you don't like those ones, because that's how they appear. Yes, Judith is Brenda. Hello, hello. Oh, and shout out to a couple of my YouTube channel members that popped in here. Okay, good. So it is showing up in green still. That's good. So Livier, hello, hello. And then Summer 27, which that is um uh moon 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 moon. I can't remember the full thing, so that's I'm gonna have to get to know her. So I'm gonna call you Summer instead of Moon. So all right, we'll get used to all this. Let's take a look here. So So let me get back up here. So regarding Devon, so tonight and tomorrow in love with Devon specifically, and then money and work. So let's see here. So what do we want to know about Devon for tonight and tomorrow? And then what about money tonight? Money and work tonight and tomorrow. Okay. All right. So they don't want to talk about the bottom card, at least not yet. So let's talk about Devon and tonight and tomorrow. So we got the Four of Cups. So Four of Cups is like this emotional stability energy. Let's see what these other cards are here, because the Four of Cups is like an energy of you reach a certain point in your emotions, just in general, and if we stay in one emotional place long enough, it starts becoming to feel like a bit stagnant. Let's see what else we have here. You have the Two of Staves, the Two of Wands coming in here. Okay, and then you have the Sun of Staves with the Knight of Wands. It's a lot of the fastest moving knight, right? A lot of passion. And the Eight of Coins, the Eight of Pentacles here. So, I know. So Judith. I, sometimes I wish I could. Oh, he's traveling. I just wish. Oh, he serves Air Force. Oh, that's good. I like that for him. But I was sometimes I just wish I could be like, Spirit, can we just have a night of just it's all about all the good, but they're like, but everything's good. Because I know, I get it, I'm human. I know that I would love to be, like, oh my God, they're gonna be the best love ever and it's gonna last forever and blah 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 blah. Not that this won't. It's just saying here, this energy that's coming in. A lot of their energy is about passion and you know action energy, motion, not emotion, but motion, you know um like energetic attraction, physical attraction. And um the Eight of Coins is the Eight of Pentacles is all about evolution and how you've been becoming a butterfly. But they're still a caterpillar, and this is what they're saying here is they're still focused in on their, um, lower vibration kind of searches and, pursuits and stuff in their life, and they're still trying to figure out plans for their life, and they're I know, boo. But that's the whole thing, right? When we talk with spirit, we want the truth. We don't want them to blow smoke and go, "Oh, yeah, it's gonna be great," when they're like, "Ooh, well, it's better that they don't know that an asteroid's" this isn't I'm not predicting an asteroid heading to the planet. Just let them enjoy it until the asteroid hits, because it's they can't do anything about it. But that's the thing is that you can, and this is the Four of Cups is this is a lot of the same, energy of the other guys, because you're evolving, you're raising your love vibration, but these individuals, are still focused on caterpillarness. So, it's like just understand that they are more of a stepping stone than they are the one you're going to be with the rest of your life energy. You're learning and growing around yourself through them. And this is what is unfolding. And as long as you are like, yeah, I'm just going to enjoy what I'm going to learn and for however long it's there. But when butterflies ready to fly, they can't follow you because they don't have wings yet. They're still focused in on the caterpillar world, not your this evolution where you're in the cocoon turning into the butterfly, right? I'm sorry. Boo. Okay, let's go to work and work and money. So you have the Shah of Swords, which is the King of Swords. A lot of clarity. I like this. Let's see what else we have here. Oh, and the full card, which is a beginning of a new adventure. A lot of possibilities that are coming in here. I do feel here with work, there's a lot of great ideas that can come your way here if you'll step back and connect higher. You're being gifted the ability to see things from a higher perspective. Um, Especially if you have gratitude towards spirit and you're really open to come on. I'm open to ideas. Thank you for all the ideas of the other things regarding work and different approaches and ways to advertise or to market, ways to create new business and new ways to communicate that. There's a lot of great energy that's here. um, it's just a matter of connecting. So uh, you can really just sit, even grab a little notebook or something, and then head off to go to like a park or sit somewhere. Like, I don't know how old your kids are. If they're like, let's go to the playground. You guys go play, and I'm going to sit over here, and I'm just going to go, all right, let the ideas come and just start brainstorming and look at different things. It's that kind of energy I feel around work. Money wise, you do have the Hermit card. Again, there's both of these are stepping back and connecting with spirit energy. So, in addition to doing that with work, you can also do that regarding funds. You have the sun card. I like that, getting out into the sun, but that is an abundance energy, and the Sun of Cups, the Knight of Cups. So, a big piece of work and money, when we move ourselves emotionally, especially through gratitude, then that can expand things, right? And we talk about this when I focus on need and want, and there's not going to be enough, or I wonder if there's going to be enough. I'm worried. All that does is draw that kind of stuff toward us. We grow lack, we grow the need, we grow the want instead of focusing on and sitting and being in the moment and thanking the creator for everything I have in my life right now. So blessed, everything I have had, and I'm open to ideas and flow and show me what I can do to help. But it's really the a great amount of activating emotionally, not just going, I'm grateful, but it has to do with that sincerity and that emotion inside of us when we're just like, wow, you can feel it, right? It's when it drops from here into here. So you do have a lot of possibility with the full card, because that's follows the world card, which was on the bottom of the deck, which is the ending of old cycles, the beginning of new adventures that comes in. But it's about letting go of expectations. It's about letting go of supposed to be and should be's, and again, all that other lack beliefs, because that's what sucks the life out of relationships. It sucks the life out of our jobs, our work, our money, um, because it's all lack energy. And whatever we focus on is what does expand with all of that. So, anything you can do to do a gratitude journal around work, around anything you want to grow and expand, and making that, because whatever we focus the most on, you know, it's like if we do like a 5-minute gratitude ritual in the morning and then spend the rest of the day worrying, what are we going to draw to us? We're going to draw worrying. It's making gratitude our habit to where at least 50-50, will draw in wonderful, things, because gratitude energy is stronger than fear energy. So it doesn't have to be 100% or really even 50, but just realizing sincere gratitude will draw things in. But I do feel there's a lot of opportunity to uh, get ideas from spirit around job and finances too. Let's see what your fortune cookie says. We got the power of surrender. Yeah. So surrender negative thinking, which would be lack energy, right? You have control over your thoughts. When negative thoughts surface, say, "Thank you for sharing," and quickly refocus on positive affirmations. So, exactly as I was saying, right? So, boom, boom, there we go. So, that's what they have for you, Judith. So, thank you again for your donation. Sorry for the other news. All right. And then up next, we have love is the most powerful force in the universe. So let's put your timestamp out here. All right. There we go. And let's give that a love and a like since it lets me there. So thank you for your first donation. We'll circle back around for your other one here. And you wanted a general reading. All right. Let's see what spirit has here for you. Let me take a quick sip here. All right. So what would they have you know right now? Okay. All right, these two. Okay. What do we all have going on here? Well, you do have the Two of Swords on the bottom. And the Two of Swords is a choice of story energy. You can kind of see their eyes are blindfolded, which is an invitation to close our eyes, get out of our head, get into our hearts. Of course, this life that we live, everything in the outside world just is till it gets in this little noodle between our ears, right? And then it creates stories, opinions based on past conditioning, other stories that were given to us growing up, telling us when this happens, this is what it's supposed to mean about them, the world, ourselves. There's all this mental trappings, these stories that were conditioned into saying, this is what that means. And we're like, okay, we don't know any better. We're children. We just, take on all that crap, right? So let's take a look here and see what they want you to know because it is like there's this choice of mental story. We have the Ten of Swords, which is all of the stories. Ten of Swords, I usually say, is like, this is when we're like, I'm done with all these expectations, all this people pleasing, these supposed to be, should be's, need to be's, have to be, must be, beliefs that we've had. And this is that letting go of it. We have the Malika of Cups, which is the Queen of Cups. Truly, she rolls over the cup suit and gets it. All queens get a second portion of cups. So she's the master of emotion. Talk about getting out of our head, releasing all these stories, connecting intuitively inward and upward through our heart and see what we see and allow our heart to lead instead of allowing our mind to push down our heart through all those stories going, no, 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 no. It has to mean this. And the heart goes, I don't want it to mean that. So there is this change of perspective, the change of the way we're looking at things. We have the judgment card, which is our higher self, inviting us to see things from a higher perspective, along with the Son of Staves, which is the Knight of Wands. It's the fastest moving horse, but it also, they have a quest of searching after the Ace of Wands, which is our power. And this realizing that it doesn't matter what is happening in the outside world because we're going to draw to us whatever we're focusing on, right? And so when we hear this story of, well, this is happening and this, we fear this is what it's going to mean and what it's going to do and blah, blah, because all these stories, especially in the news and everyone else, talk about a lot of stories being told about this is what this means, this is what could happen. And news has changed from information to opinion, all these opinion talk shows instead of actual news. It's like, give me the facts. Well, let me give you my version of my thoughts around the facts. That's the way it's changed, and well, it's really always been that way in a way, but it's just so more obvious now. But this is about stepping into our power, realizing it doesn't matter what's going on out here, it's matters what's going on in here. What am I focusing on, right? And we have the Hangman, which is also about, uh, and it came in underneath all of those cards, which is about seeing things from a different perspective, a perspective of higher perspective, capital T truth, rooted in unconditional love, rather than small t truths rooted in fear, which is what all those opinions are that we've been given. So, a lot of clarity, I feel, is coming in here with all of this in this decision making that's coming in here. You also have the daughter of staves, the page of wands. Again, this reinforcement of there is this power to be discovered within us, realizing that I'm not on an out of control drama train that's about to leap off the tracks and explode in a gorge. I'm not a little baby in the back seat of a car in a car seat, you know, strapped in, going, I'm just going wherever this person is taking me. No, we're the drivers of our life. We're the drivers of the bus. And the creator is our co-creator, following our energy, and all of our spiritual posse is in the back seat like a bunch of puppies. I always love that example that they showed me. It's just a bunch of puppies. We said, want to go for it? And they're like, we're on, let's go. They don't care where we're going, what we're doing. They're just want to be along for the ride, supporting us, whatever we decide to do. But it's we, our own self, that's deciding what I want, not even we as a collective, but me. We are doing that as a collective, but individually, we are deciding how we want to go along our path. And I like this. We have the Nine of Cups, whatever the dream come true is. There's no wrong dream. The dream is to express this love in our heart with the world in our own special, unique way. There's no wrong way. Um, and that's a big what? Yeah, there's no wrong way. There's not soul contracts and all that kind of stuff is human influenced because we need to know I need a contrast. If I'm meeting something or not, that's our human side. Unconditional love of the other realm of the realm and being eternal is about, there is no um, you know, absolute has to be done. We're eternal beings. If you don't hit it in this lifetime, we'll adventure in that in another journey, another lifetime, or another form in something else. It's like, it's not like going to school and getting a grade and having to progress and whatever. We're already perfect beings. It's like we're perfect mountains and we're wandering around us, discovering more about who we are. So we're explorers. It's adventure. It's not school, right? Anyway, and then you have the two of staffs. Yeah. So coming back to here, stepping into our power every moment with all of this staff energy, I'm either focusing on higher vibration and drawing that and growing that, or I'm focusing on lower vibration rooted in fear, which amplifies that and draws things that match that. I like that when spirit says there's no right or wrong choices, there's just different choices with different experiences that come with those and different outcomes. There's no right or wrong, better or worse. They're like it all is experience, and there's no wrong experiences. We want to explore and experience it all. So it's like, all right, it's like being a food connoisseur, and I want to try all different types of food. They will all taste differently. Some may not agree with our taste, and that's okay. Doesn't mean it's wrong because some people love it. We just don't have the taste for it, and that's all right. I don't want that. I'd rather have this, right? And then the Son of Coins. So um you had two sons here, right? Yeah. So the Son of Coins is the Knight of Pentacles, which is the slow movement, patience, and I like that about the we're eternal beings. What's the rush, right? The human wants to rush because it's like, oh, we have all these rules about timing of supposed to be, should be, need to be. But when we recalibrate and see things from a different perspective, that allows us to have more, it's not really so much patience as it is that it allows us to be more in the moment and not trying to rush into the future in some point of time in the future when something is happening, then I can be happy or content or joyful. What else do we need besides the eternal unconditional love of the creator that we find inside us? Not out here. We have everything we need. What am I driven to, right? So a lot of great clarity coming in here. So hopefully that helps for right now. Let's get you a power of surrender for the fortune cookie for this one. Right, here we go. And we have surrender to prayer, surrender to connection to the spirit world, right? Give yourself over completely to prayer. When you pray from your heart, you will be heard through the universe, and answers and support will arrive. I like that. Just have to ask, you know, um, and whatever we focus on is what we draw in. Because I can ask spirit for all sorts of things to help, but if I'm focusing on the lower vibration, I'm actually resisting and pushing away because I'm inviting lower vibration instead of higher vibrational assistance too. So I like that. All right. So that's what they have for that for you there. So many blessings to you. All right. Let's see here. Okay. And then we have Rocky's World. Let's grab your timestamp here. All right. So Rocky's World, let me give that a love and a like since it lets me. And you want to know, because you weren't there for the funeral, but is Michael J. really buried in Glendale Cemetery or somewhere else? Ooh, okay. Yeah. Well, luckily on that side, they don't get mad, so you don't have to worry. They're beings of unconditional love. Madness comes from fear, because that's any lower vibrational emotion is rooted in fear, anger, fight or flight, right? It's anger or crying or sadness, depression, all that lower vibrational comes is rooted in like fear. Um, and their beings of unconditional love. They don't have fear, so you don't have to worry. No anger from them. Just what is just shenanigans. Just them playing um tricks on you for fun, not for punishment or anything. Let's take a look here. Interesting. We've got the bottom of the deck, we have the High Priestess card, which is about being away from everything else and, uh, put somewhere different. Let's see here if I don't know if they have like, I don't think they had him cremated. Let's take a look here. I have this weird feeling that like they're away somewhere in in this the way they pictured it is like a temple. It's like someone's home on their mantle. Um, but let's take a look here and see what we have here. We do have the World card, which is the ending of an old cycle, the beginning of a new adventure. The Five of Cups, which is a movement of emotion. Let's see what this is here. Hmm. Got the Malika of Staves, the Queen of Wands. I had a feeling about Mother that's here. Seven of Coins, Seven of Pentacles is a change of venue, or like it's like when we have fruit that happen, or like, I don't like that. I want to do this instead. And the Five of Swords. So there was a lot of conflict around where they were going to be buried, things were going to happen. Um, and with this Malika of Staves, with this flame energy, I have this energy of that, like you know, it's like they were cremated, but because this is like how they solved the problem. Well, what we'll do, We're going to cremate them. We'll put some of the remains in that coffin, have it buried there. And then also, I want to be able to have some where I'm at. And then, I feel like there was a third location that they wanted something else there too. And that's like, this is how they resolved it, was to be able to split the ashes up and to be in different locations because someone wanted it. I want this because of da da da. And then one's like, well, I want da 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 da. And that's all these five of cups, this five of swords. Just feels like there was that kind of you know, energy. This is how the victory was made. This is how with the world card, how the struggle or the conflict was resolved was, well, why can't we all have what we want? And like, people are like, what? Well, why don't we just cremate? What? And then they were like, well, okay, and I kind of feel like this is what happened here. So it's like, because I don't feel like it's there. It's like, no, they're there, and then they're there, and then they're also in a third spot, if that makes sense. Rockies, well, hey, yeah, I know, right? Interesting. So it's like, okay, yeah, we've got a little bit of everything. Yeah. No, it doesn't feel like he was scattered, but it could be that that third place, maybe someone wanted to scatter some ashes somewhere, so they wanted some, and then Um, I kind of feel like with mom with this 5 of cups, I feel like she's the one that was like, "I want to have him with me." Well, I'll have some of him with me, at least, so I have something of him, and then there was someone else, some other family, "Well, we need to have them represented in the cemetery, the family cemetery." Alright, and then someone else, "Oh, but I wanna be able to they would have loved to have been scattered in the mountains and the ocean and da da da." And they're like, well, here, you can have, you know, Scoop, you can have a cup of him. He's being funny because he's, of course, here since we're talking about him. And he's like, I don't care. I'm not there. That is like saying, that rental car you had on that vacation, you know what they did with it? They they um, turned it into ash, and he go, "I don't care. That was just my car. I don't care. It was a rental. Who do I care?" When we went, and did this. So, I like this kind of switcheroo, changeroo, uh, and but they're don't care. When we leave these bodies, we just know this is borrowed energy anyway. It just returns back to the earth. It's a it's like a giant Hertz or whatever those commercials are. I just turn it back in and I'm off to my adventure, right? Yeah. He's like, "Why? Do you wanna do a spell or something on me?" Let's see here. I feel like they wanna bring you to hear this absolute affirmations. Let's see what we have here. Yeah, this is one character he's played out of many. So it's like the earth, we all are part of the earth, in here. Oh my god, I love this. So here's the a green Cadillac. Here's the rental car. Greet each day with an attitude of appreciation for the infinite possibilities that lie ahead. Proclaim that no matter what happens, you will make the best of this singular and unique day. Believe wholeheartedly that everything will work in your favor, and it will. Set the tone by affirming today is a good day. So I love that. They're basically telling you, don't worry about the past, don't worry about the future. Enjoy today, this moment. You have everything you need right now. So I really love that for you. So that is what they have for you, my dear. So thank you again for your donation. I greatly appreciate that. All right. And then Christina Lowe, you're up exactly at 1 hour. Look at that. Can you believe that? Boom. And congratulations once again on being the weekly winner. And thank you for your donation, your little wink wink. And I agree. You said you're hella funny, which is great. Great energies, right? And so your question up above was you were wondering if anyone on the other side wants to talk to you, enlighten you, tell you to F off. Well, they would never tell you that. Not because they don't cuss, because they're just like, no, we love being around you and hanging around you and being on your adventures, you know. So they definitely love to talk to you. So we'll pull some cards here and see what they have to say here for you. Right? They would tell us that in jest, you know, but they love us so much. They're like, no, that's like, you know, they want to be in the car with us. They want to be, you know, in our life every moment, and they don't have judgments on our life as harshly as, well, they don't have any, but we're very harsh on our lives, and you know, but like you were mentioning earlier, that you have been feeling that this agitation energy, um, that's been, you know, coming in. And of course, if um, we had Jupiter, which is your ruling planet over your stellium and Sagittarius, moved into Cancer, expander of emotion. And then a couple days after that, we had the full moon in Sagittarius. And then Cancer, the sun moved into Cancer as well. And, you know, Fascist. Fascist. Hey, as long as we are laughing, that's what I always say. I'm like, I don't care if people are laughing with me or at me or not laughing at all. If I'm having a good time, that's what I care, right? Because it's like we're on a giant vacation, and if someone wants to have a bad time and stay in the hotel room, you go ahead. I'm not going to drag you out, but I'm not going to stay there either. I'm going to go have fun. I'm going to enjoy it. I'll text you on my way back to say, hey, I'm going to stop and get some food. Do you want me to bring anything back for you? But I'm not going to ruin my vacation because of someone else's wants to have a bad a bad day. That's all right. You know, I'll send you love, but I'm going to go have fun and laugh. I cried enough in my life. I'm done. I had spent enough time in a bad mood in a hotel room, right? I'm ready to be out living life. So I like that. Let's see what your people on the other side have to say here for you. All right. These, and they want these, and they want this. All right. What we got? What we got? Right, this little journey here. Well, the bottom of the deck, you start off here with the death card, this death and rebirth card, which I like this. You know, I almost killed myself when I was 22. 22? Yeah, I was 22, which is amazing that it was a 22 is a power number of getting to know our higher selves. Um, and that was 36 years ago. So that was more than my half my life ago. But um something, and I haven't felt this way in a quite a while, but whenever I would have like this you know, ugly feeling going on in my life, I would, in my mind, I would take it to death because I'd be like, well, what's the worst that could happen? You know, I was going to end my life, and then spirit stepped in, and then I didn't. Um, and then after 13 years of uh, beating myself up and everything at 29 is when I found my inner freedom, and I found the eternal creator that has unconditional love for us instead of a judgmental God that I thought was, you know, mean and was wanting to send me to hell and everything else. So there was this freedom that happened when I was 29. And but it's like after that, whenever I started to feel like, oh, I'm going, what's the worst that could happen? I could have killed myself. I could be dead. And I'm like, well, That's the worst thing that a situation can bring, is that it would kill me, and I was gonna kill myself anyway, so what am I worried about? Go live, enjoy it, explore, you know? It's like, what's the worst that could happen? A really, like, a painful death, right? But even that would be, it would, in a matter of moments, I'd be gone. And it's like, yeah, so what am I worried about? And that just helps me. It's like, take it down to worst case scenario, and then everything else is like, yeah, everything else is workable and doable, right? So this death and rebirth, it's like, yeah, it's like having a rebirth every morning. When you open your eyes, it's like, I'm born into a new day. What can I do with this, right? And you said you wish you could feel them. Sometimes I know you smell them, but not constantly and can access it. Just happens, as it will. Well, it's a great question because, um, when we are at the higher vibration, we can hear them so clearly, we can feel them, we can sense them. Um, right? Yeah, live, no worries. I love it. And it is this like you just felt them with chills all over. Whoa! But when we're in lower vibrational types of fears or anything, you know, that's such heavy, loud, noisy energy. We can't feel the breeze and the um, we don't hear them as clearly. But when we're in unconditional love and joy and laughter and play and gratitude, that's the frequency at which they exist, and we can feel them so much more and sense them so much, um, um, easily, right? Yeah, yeah, and it definitely can be hard because we all most humans, we've been raised, right, and conditioned to focus on lower vibration. What are we fearing? What's not working well? What do we hate? What do we want? What do we need? Lack, 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 lower vibration energy, right? We spend a lot of our lives taught in school and movies and life and society, focus on this. And so we're taught, this is your habit. You made it a habit, like us all. We were taught to make this a habit, and now that's our habit. But habits can be difficult at first to change, but the more, how did we learn it? Through repetition. And so the more time we spend in repetition of focusing on gratitude and higher vibration and love and joy, and the higher vibration, spending more time with spirit, doing everything we can, to pull us and remind us, like I always talk about. I would put for the longest time, I had an alarm on my phone, a silent vibrating alarm that go off every waking hour. So at work, it would go off and remind, I'm like, "What's going on?" "Oh, that's right. Come back to this higher love. Come back to spirit. Come back to the higher vibration." Because after I would, "Oh, that's right," stop the alarm, put it down, 5 minutes later, I'm right back up there till, an hour later, brrr, and then I'm, like, back, and then it would take me, I'd be in it for eventually 10 minutes and then get drawn out, and then 15 minutes, and I stayed in higher gratitude vibration longer, um, before I got pulled back out, and then eventually doing gratitude and a whole bunch of things. It's like, but we won't make the changes until we're ready. When we're, like, this miserable feeling of lower vibration, once we get tired of it enough, then we take more action for it. But until get so, I've had it, we usually don't make big change in our life. And that's all right. There's no judgment in it. It's just like, we don't make change as humans until we want it, not because we think we have to, like someone trying to quit smoking because someone else told them that they want him to quit smoking. If they're not doing it for themselves, right? But when we're doing it for ourselves, we make change, right? So let's see what else they have here. We have, yep, here. Okay, the emperor, the sultan, which is exactly everything I was just saying. You're the emperor of your life. The emperor is surrounded with a lot of people in their throne room with a lot of advice and a lot of self-appointed advisors telling him how life should be run and everything else. And at some point, the emperor goes, "Wait a minute, I'm the emperor over the empire. All these other people's opinions are, you know, their opinions. So everyone clear the throne room, leave your opinions in this box at the door, and then you get to decide what is it that I want. I put a plan together and then I put action behind it." And that's what this emperor energy is. Three of coins, yeah, being true to your authentic you, creating the life that you're wanting, so I really like that, that energy that's there. So I like that because that is about, not being worrying about what support we lose or the naysayers, what they're going to say. It's like, you know what? I am going to choose for me. So I like that. You have, yeah, and you have the Lover's card, the power of emotional choice. And that's our power too, is realizing that, um, everyone has all of their stories, all of the opinions again about how we're supposed to feel when something is happening, the story we're supposed to put to something, the energy I'm supposed to invest towards something, the actions in the physical world that I'm supposed to do. And it's like, it's opinions. I guess I can't say this on YouTube, but it said there was a an Instagram post that was hilarious because they were like someone saying, I realized opinions are like, our little where we shoot poo out of, right? They're like they all can be um um looked into, but it comes down to we're only responsible for our own, right? So I like that kind of exploration of our own our own energy and not worry about everyone else's, right? So let's see what else we have here. You have the 5 of coins, the 5 of pentacles, which is, you know, belief in around lack, around, it's ultimately a fear of it being abandoned, being left out in the cold, not being enough, not having enough, which goes back to our childhood. This is those energies of like, I feel like I need something more. I want something more. That means there's something we feel like we're missing in this moment. When we have want and need, then we feel like there's a piece of us missing. And when we dive into that and figure out what that is, that helps free us because ultimately we can get to this place where I know that I don't need more. I have everything I need right here, right now inside of me. It's the eternal, unconditional love of the universe, of the mother and father of all things, the creator, and it's like, what else do I need? What more do I need, besides that? Um, our human body might need some food, might need some water, needs some rest. There's some things that keep this human body functioning, but I don't need it. If I die, then I'm right back into the realm of the creator. But so when we really get into this out of this human mind of all this stuff we've been told and look inward, this is where the release happens, right? Got the 3 of cups. Here's your spiritual posse. So they're saying we're always with you, your guardian angel, your angels, your loved ones who are on the other side, your ancestors, fairies, unicorns, all of this wonderful things, right? Yeah, and gnomes. Here's like the 3 of cups too. These are like the 3, that are there. And so there's this, great energy. And here's the 9 of swords. Yeah, these are all those nightmare and insomnia, all those thoughts and beliefs and mindsets. And they're like, we're always with you. It's joy, joy, joy. Your natural state is joy. That's what we're made out of, is joy. And so returning and remembering who we really are, realizing I have a little post-it. I have I have 3 post-its up here. And I'll read all of them to you because they're things I look at every day. One is like, I'm not broken. I'm burning away that which is not me. So all those thoughts and beliefs and mindsets that came, all these opinions from the world growing up, those are not me. Those are things that were put on me and I took and allowed to be put on me. And now I'm burning that away so that my true self is revealed. I'm not broken. I'm just burning away this stuff that is not me anymore. And then also the second one is I ask any of my pain, whether it's physical pain, emotional pain, mental pain, whatever pain it may be, is I can ask it what it needs from me. So any pain and suffering that arises in my life, I ask it, what do you need from me? Because that's what is being expressed. It's feeling like something's wrong. I need attention. All right, what do you need from me? And then the last thing I have is, excuse the handwriting, but I have surrender, let go, just let go of trying to control the universe is what it really is for me, right? So I like this message from your posse on the other side. They're always with you. And last, Ace of Coins. This is about a beautiful journey that you're on to discover a new way of looking at your worth in relationship to the outside world. So I love this energy that is here for you, and they're always with you. The moment they left their bodies, their rental cars, they were right by you, and they'll never leave your side. And they have the ability to be with each and every loved one as if you are the only one that they're with, because that's the capacity as spirit beings that we are. I can be everywhere all at once if I want, as well. So I like that. Yeah. So let's take a look here and see what your fortune cookie says here too. So what else do they want you to know? Okay, this one. It's from the power of surrender. Yeah. Surrender worry. Here's the play swinging on a swing. Time to play. Make a commitment not to lead an anxiety driven life. When worries arise, breathe them out of your body. Focus on the power of your heart and have faith that spirit is guiding you always. There you go. We're always with you, guiding you, giving you hints as well. So I love that for you, Christina. And of course, you have a personal reading for winning one. So be sure to check out that video. And yeah, I'm very glad that they brought you what you needed in the moment. Of course, you can dive deeper in your personal reading too. So don't forget. All right. So that's what they have for you, my dear. Many blessings to you. All right. So, hey, Twin V. Good to see you. And hey, Sonali. Okay. So, once I'm done with Yadi, Yadi is up next here. Let me find your question here. Well, there's your free question. Okay, so it's up here. Very good. So, okay, so Yadi, let me get your timestamp here first. Let's get this. And thank you for your donation via CashApp. I always turn into, that's my German accent for some reason whenever I do the Cash App. So you wanted to know here, well, first of all, you asked how I am, and I am doing very well, and I hope you are well. You want to know you had a really good interview. Will only be one more interview. Will you get it? All right. Let's take a look here based on current energies, what this looks like here for you. All right. So will you get the final dun dun dun, the final countdown, right? All right. Let's see what else they want you to know all here too. All right. So let's see what all this is about here. So you do have here, all right, So you have the Judgment card, which is about seeing things from a higher perspective, your higher self drawing you here. The Six of Swords is moving from choppy waters to calmer waters. Swords being communication and being movement. That's a positive cards coming in here. Let's see what else we have here too. We have the Emperor card, Aries energy, and it is about making choices. And it could be, of course, the Emperor, if the last interview is with the head honcho, like the one that's going to make the ultimate decision, everyone else filtering it out. That's a good sign too. See what else we have here. Ace of Cups. It's a positive energy too. It's about happiness, higher happiness. And the Nine of Wands, which is getting past a barrier. Let's see what this underlying energy is here. You have the Two of Staves. We like that energy. Again, that's power, empowerment, and the Hanged Man, which is about, again, the seeing things from a higher perspective. I do feel like I mean, with all of this, if I was going to give you a yes or no, yes, I feel like you are going to get get to go to the second interview. I feel like what they would want to add on top of that is it's so important with this Two of Staves and especially this Emperor energy that you choose, like, instead of like falling into our want, I really want this job, I really need it. I want that position. What if I don't get it? You know, all that lower vibrational energy actually puts up a resistance wall, like the Nine of Staves, the Nine of Wands is like this barrier that can be there, right? But there's also this, if we take our power, then we open up the barrier and we're able to go right through it. So we're the ones with our energy focus that create the barrier for us to move forward or not into something. And so they're really like, work with us, Spirit is saying, not against us. So instead of focusing on want and need, which is lack energy, which makes it more difficult for them to bring the stuff towards you, focus on gratitude. What do you love about, if you're in a job now, what you love, or if you're not in a job now, you know, focus on what, like the gratitude you had about other opportunities in the past, jobs that you loved in the past, that opens up that barrier and allows it to come to you easier instead of resistance that's coming in here. So I like it. There's a lot of great energy. It's about seeing the approach to this differently, going, all right, I'm going to have gratitude going into all of this about, you know, not, it's not about, thank you that I got this job. That's, they're like, but you haven't got it yet. You know, from Spirit, it's gratitude for what you have or have had. And then you just thank them for that. That's what opens the conduit to receive, you know, other things to come in. So hopefully that makes sense there, Yadi. Um, so that is what they have for that one. Let's get you a fortune cookie too, and then we will eventually come back around for your free reading sometime tonight too. But let's get you a fortune cookie and see what else they have um, for this interview and for this position. Let's see, what do we want to go to? I feel like we want to go to, yeah, we do want to do the power of surrender. I was like, kind of wanted to go to the absolute affirmations, but they were like, no, we want to give a message from the power of surrender. So we will obey, just because I know it's going to be the best message for you. All right. Yeah. So surrender, stubbornness. We can all relate to this one. If you are tensing up or taking a rigid stance about something, gently observe yourself and become more yielding. This will help you communicate more lovingly with others and yourself. So I like that. The stubbornness, the need to control, it's that surrendering energy that can come in with that. So I love that. So that is what they have for you, my dear. All right. So let's take a look here. We had some more donations come in since I last updated. So up next, we'll be on to Love is the Most Powerful Force. That'll be for year number 2. Let me just check timestamps here. Okay. And then summer 27. Yours will be up here. And then sun and moon. We'll circle back around for your follow up. And let's see here. I think these came in after that one. So then we have Guerra means war. Hello. Grab yours here. And then we jump over to Maria P. And not sure how your at symbol is since that's through PayPal. So we'll look at that here in a sec. And let me look here at timestamps here. And let me just see here. Okay, good. So Sarah Taylor. Sometimes I don't know if people's PayPal are the same. So I will put there. So Sarah Taylor, you'll be after that. So thank you for your donations via PayPal. And then we circle over to Twin Venus. Let's see how we're doing on time. I'll be on for about 30 more minutes or so. So I'm probably not going to get through everyone in this session, but I will be back on after I finish my time with my Praying Mantis members. Let's see, and we have Sonali Thakur, 5362, so you'll be up after that. All right. So we still have a few donations to go. So hang in there, everybody. For those of you waiting for free readings, I probably won't finish up all the donations in this session either, but I will be back sometime tonight, probably about 2 hours after the session ends. I'll be back on to finish out all donations. And as long as all my energy holds, I should be able to complete all of the free readings too. So after I'm done with a stream, I do post all the readings I completed with timestamps. And so when you come back after the second evening session, if you look for your name, you can just click on the timestamp. It'll take you right to your reading as well. So thanks for your patience in getting to all your readings, everybody. I know sometimes it can take a while, especially with donations, because we do dive deeper for more tea for those. So thank you guys so much. And for all the thumbs up too, it does help spread the love, and you're part of the love tsunami. So thank you guys for doing that. All right. So love is the most powerful force. Thank you for your additional donation. Let's grab your timestamps here. There we go. And let me remove that one there. All right. Let's give that another love and a like there. Thank you again. Anyone to know, is the Donald working with the Galactic Federation? If yes, what is his role? What a great question. I actually channeled the higher self of the Donald. And it was amazing what came through. One day maybe I'll share it in probably when I start my new podcast, my weekly podcast. I'll probably mention some of the channelings I did through automatic writing, and I was surprised when they came through. I also had Hitler and Jesus and some other people that came through, the entities. So to understand that, every one of our characters, this is just one expression of this powerful being that we are, this eternal, unconditionally loving being. um, you know and so we have tons of expressions of tons of different characters in different ways for experiences. So we'll find out here, is this because it would be their higher self, their huge higher self, which it's like, on our bodies, this would be like bruddaZEN, and then I'm also being an animal here, another dimension, I'm being something else. This is just a small piece of, and it's probably even just like the tip of my finger. Um, it's just a small piece, but am I, as my higher self, my spirit, working with the Galactic Federation? Well, asking if Donald's higher self is working with the Galactic Federation specifically, because I mean, kind of the human collective totally is, right? Let's see what their role is here. Okay, how funny. So we'll ask here first, and then I'll show you the bottom of the deck card. We do have the Four of Staff, the Four of Wands, and the Seven of Cups. A lot of different emotional experiences. The Four of Staffs, the Four of Wands. I don't feel like they are like on a specific, um, like they're not like a leading member with the Galactic Federation. They're not like an ambassador of the human collective working with the Galactic Federation. Um, but like I said, all of humanity, the human collective, we are working with the Galactic Federation. So every being that's in existence isn't here by accident. Whoops, I fell to the earth. Oh, I'm just wandering around aimlessly. We all come down here to experience life and to help raise awareness of who we are. So, but I don't feel like they're in a direct uh, ambassador role of humanity to the Galactic Federation. What is his role, though, here, which I feel like we do want to talk about that anyway? We have this emperor energy on the bottom, which is what a lot of stuff is going on, right? Leader, a huge leader that's going on. But, they do teach us a lot. They very much are like other leaders across that we've had, they do teach us about ourselves. We're all mirrors, right? And talk about a huge mirror for, humanity. When we look at someone like in an emperor role and go, look, dictator, someone trying to be a dictator. Oops, three fingers pointing back at me. They're a big mirror showing me what I truly believe about the world and myself and everything else, right? Because if I'm like, they're not acting the way I want them to, who am I, the dictator of the universe, of the planet? Who am I to say that they are supposed to be a certain way, or that person's supposed to be, or that you're supposed to be a certain way? Like, who am I? I am not a deputy of the universe, right? So they are acting as a huge mirror to show us what we want to see about ourselves till we see it. They're part of the mirrors that show us, and talk about knowing that they had this great possibility of being so much in the public eye, and that they would be someone that would shake the foundations of not just a family, not just a business, not just a country, but the world. That really is part of the wake up call for us, right? To make us see things like our shadow brings things to our face to go, look at this, we look at that, but it's about they are designed to make us eventually turn inward so that we could see, wow, okay, I'm discovering more about who I am. Let's see what else we have here too. Yeah, we have the Wheel of Fortune. It is for us. I know it's hard when we're in our human form to go, how is this situation going on in the world with wars and this and that and blah 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 and everything else? How is this for us? Well, we kind of can get to this place of trust that, when everything is comfortable, we don't challenge ourselves, we don't grow. But through challenge is how we grow. And that's why everything is for us, because otherwise we're just going to be sticking with the status quo with all of this stuff below the surface running on autopilot, right? But when things come into our face and we're like, hey, you have to see it, you have to face it, right? We have the Daughter of Swords, yeah, Page of Swords, bringing clarity to life, allowing us to see things from a higher perspective, and the Six of Cups. I like this coming in here as the final card because the Six of Cups energy is one of my past life cards. And I like it because I've been getting a ton of messages from spirit when I'm doing my automatic writing from all these different entities talking about being parts of collectives and past lifetimes and all these things. And when we get these messages of past lives, who knows? Like my human, if I went back and looked, I'm sure I was some sort of, person that was an emperor or a leader of some kind that people didn't like. I was probably doing things out of fear, because that's what we do. If we're not doing something of love, then we're doing something from fear. Every moment is about unconditional love, an expression of it or a cry out for it. And a lot of actions that are being done, at least as we are being reported to, are out of fear, right? Control, fear, all of that is that energy. And they're all, that they are able to make us face things through that mirror. And they've been a very public, um, huge mirror for us all, the same as Putin and leaders of Canada and leaders of, England and of Mexico, all the leaders across the world, anyone that's in public eye, even actors and actresses and music people, everyone that is like, Taylor Swift, who's one of the most popular, and Madonna, Cher, you know, um, AC/DC, and I mean, all these, everyone, it touched everyone a little differently, and it shows things that, uh, it shows us our love, it also shows us our fears, right? So hopefully that makes sense here, but it is designed purposely to help us, face things because, you know, otherwise we just kinda go along, "This is comfortable, we're just gonna stick here." But then this little rattling comes along and shakes our little cage, and we're like, "Whoa, I didn't even realize I was in a cage," until, this arises, and then it'll bring us out of fear, into a place of love eventually. Let's see what we have here. Yeah. So your fortune cookie says, "Dope. I am dope." You are a unique individual, and your originality makes you extremely dope, which means like super cool. You have a purpose and a path that is vital and tailored specifically for you. So every lifetime is specifically tailored, including Donald's. Remember to recognize yourself as special and wear this confidence proudly, right? I love that. How What a perfect card to come out. We all have a path. All right. So that is what they have for that one for you. So thank you again for your multiple donations. All right. Let me just make sure here. Okay. I'm not going to get to any of the free readings in this session. I still have a ton of donations. So I'm not going to get through all the donations either. But I will be back. Um, let's see, I'll be leaving about 8. I'll probably be back around 10 p.m. Mountain Time, to finish out the donations and then also the free readings. Um, I do a pinned comment when I'm done with the stream listing all the um, readings I completed with the timestamp. So if you're not able to catch it until later tonight, you can go back in and see your name and then just click on the timestamp. It'll take you right to your reading. Yeah, I'm not going to get to any of the free readings in this session. So thank you guys for your patience in getting to them all, though. I'm very grateful. All right. So Summer 27, you are up. Let's grab your timestamp here. All right. Oops, did I spell it right? I did. Okay, good. Thought it auto-corrected it. All right. So thank you for your donation and your number one. All right. Yeah, Moonlight. Yeah, it's something here. I mentioned it earlier. YouTube has done some sort of update. It used to have our like the screen name we chose, but everyone has an ID, and that's what's showing up in the chat out of nowhere. Don't know why they did it or if it's something that just reset or they did something. But so that's the way they're showing up. I know. I don't know. But so anyway, that's what's happening there. Nothing you guys did. It happened across the board here. So so let's take a look here. So summer, happy Saturday to you. Still Friday evening on this side of the planet. So you're ahead. Tell us what's in the future. So you ended up staying home today, and then your father came visiting. Oh, it was a good choice. Oh, I'm so glad. You got to see your papa. All right. You would like to know ours thoughts and feelings these days. Codependency, right? Would you be surprised? So let's take a look here. What are ours thoughts and feelings? Okay, there we go. Thoughts and feelings about you these days. Okay, this one and this. All right, let's see what we got here. We get like either the Queen of Pentacles or the Empress when we're talking about them and you, don't we? I feel like we do. Because we got it again. We got the Empress. They still see you underneath the surface, this nurturing individual, big heart, nurturer, a source of this love that they've never had before. And you know that. You know that you have a huge heart and that you're able to, really give them, even when you think you're being mean, that's still the greater amount of love they ever had, from feminine energy in their life. And so they really are drawn to that. And that's underneath the surface. So we know that. Let's see what something's building here. You got one card and one card, and then two cards and three cards. And then there's an underlying energy under the three cards. Let's see where this is going here. We, we do have the Daughter of Swords that's coming in here. The Daughter of Swords is the Page of Swords, which is like, it is clarity, but it is also, it's all this communication type of energy, right? And we know they've been doing this, and um, their thoughts are, I want more communication from you, heightened communication from you. Let's see what else is coming in here. Yeah, Three of Cups, which there's this community energy that comes in here as well. And so I feel like some of the thoughts that are coming in kind of have to do with this. If I can't get you to answer me, then I will, of course, show up, um, you know, um, in the group and hanging around with all of that, kind of energy. There you are. Sorry. Yeah, like 50 times a day, right? And so, um, oh, so it shows you guys' moonlight on your side? I wonder, that's weird. I'll have to check and see if they updated settings or did something weird. But this Three of Cups is about friends group and all of that. They're like, well, if I can't get through you this way, then I'll show up at these other places where our friends hang out. Because if I can't get you to answer the phone or respond to me this way, then I'll show up there, right? And I think you mentioned that. Was it last night? About, it's a small town, it's a small place, small city. I bump into them, and it's like, yep, they are trying to stay uh, connected like a leech, you know? Let's see what else they have here too. 9 of staves. Yeah, they do feel this block that they do not like. Boundaries, right? 9 of staves. Son of swords. Again, if I can talk enough, I can convince you, right? With this Knight of Swords, movement of communication, then I can change your mind. If I can get you talking to me enough, I can change your mind. That's what they're thinking. Lo and behold, they do not realize how you have changed. The old you, maybe, not the new you. Let's see what else they have here. Yeah, this death and rebirth. They feel like they can recharge things again. 4 of coins, 4 of pentacles to get this solid foundation again, build this relationship again. Yeah, build love, build new love with the Ace of Cups. So they still have this um, determination and this desperation because it is surprising to them. And we'll see what your final little card under here is as well. Is, there is this um like it's a what do they call it? A mirage in the desert, right? Because before, like you said, you took them back before, right? And for some people, like one thing changes and creates a habit, right? Sometimes it's not repetition. All it takes is one, and they're like, well, this is the way you normally do it. And you're like, that was one time. Or if we did take them back and, let them do the things they did and say the things they said and forgave them over and over and over again, given a lot of leeway, there people can get confused. Like, why are you're not doing what you did before, right? Yeah. So, we do have that underlying energy, the 2 of cups. Yeah, they do. They see this relationship, here you are guys growing old together. No. But yeah, with the current who they are, because they don't love themselves, they can't give or receive love um in large amounts at all because they don't have that self-love there. So they still have all that energy's there. They're desperate to um convince you, you know. Uh they're convinced they can convince you. They're not really convinced. They're That's that mirage. I can do this. I can do this. And inside they know, no, you can't. But that's what's scaring them even more. Yeah. Your fortune cookie says surrender to spirit. So once you've done everything you can to achieve a goal, even if it's turn the situation over to the divine, let spirit work its magic for you, right? So if you're like, I don't want this anymore, then we surrender it to the creator and we stop investing energy into the want and need and fear and any energy we put into it, what are we doing? We're drawing them closer to us. So if we just have gratitude going, thank you, creator, for the relationship that I had, everything I learned from that, but I'm ready to let this go. I surrender it to you. And now I'm going to focus all my energy and gratitude for other things, right? But it's that releasing, and then we will stop drawing them toward us. So if it's blocking someone on the phone, if it's, um, not just answering it, because every time you see them on your phone, you're giving it energy, right? Every time it pops up, oh, I have now invested time and energy into looking at it, right? Yeah. So you let him, you know, it's like we train people how to treat us by what how we allow them to treat us, and now, they thought, why have you changed?" And you're like, "Well, I have changed." So, surprise! It ain't gonna happen, kind of energy. But So that is what they have for that one for you. And I know we have another one further down, I think. Let me just take a look here. Yeah, I think we do have another one. Let me see. Did I skip one? There's the other one we just did. Take a look here. Okay, that's the one we just did. Oh, it was a free one I saw. That was later. So we'll eventually circle back around for that one there as well. Okay. Oh, nope, there is another one. So sorry, I see it now. It's after Sonali. I did thought I saw it there. Not totally going crazy, just partially. All right. But then I think we had Sean G. You had a couple after that. So hey, Sean G. So we'll eventually go over to those two. Sorry, I'm just grabbing some. I'm not going to be getting to those till a little later, of course. Yeah, I figured. And then Maria P for a second one. Okay. All right. So up next we have the fob for sun and moon. Let's get your, oops, you're up here. Now you were up way up first. So let's try that again. So sun and moon. We'll grab your new timestamp here for your follow-up question. Thank you for your additional donation. Put that down here. All right. There it is. So the all-seeing eye. All right. So follow-up, is there an outside world event that makes the situation unfold? All right, let's take a look here. And see here. So is there an outside world event? Okay. Don't want any of those. I do want those there. Okay, let's see what we got here. Interesting. Some things have been building. We got 1 card and 2 card and 3 cards, but the bottom of the deck, we do have the Empress card, which the Empress card, hello again, is this energy of Mother Nature, Mother Nurture. So, with the other things that we had building, it makes total sense too, because when we were talking about what's been leading up to it, were those 3 cards that we went over, but it was about you know, seeing their worth and relationship, that whole deserving, I deserve more. I deserve the worthiness energy. So if they've been doing any kind of self-reflection therapy, anything like that, I do feel like that's been a big piece of this growth and this building up where they've been really seeing their life and seeing things differently and going, wait a minute. Yeah, I've been sacrificing myself. It's like, get off the cross, we need the wood, kind of energy. It's like, I don't need to sacrifice everything. I deserve the love that I'm giving away to everyone else. So it's a really this transformation energy. Let's see here. Yeah, the 2 of Cups. The 2 of Cups energy here I feel is I deserve to be with someone like myself. I deserve to be in a relationship that's equal give and receive and um, to someone who shares and cares like I do. Um, and I feel like this Two of Cups relationship is this focus of relationship to self. That's one of the things of the Two of Cups. It's emotional choice, but in realizing I always have another choice, and like where they felt like they were trapped before, they're like, no, I always have another choice. And I'm the one that gets to choose. Again, this empowering energy that's, been building up. Let's see what else we have here. Yeah, the Three of Cups, joy and community. And what's this other one? The Five of Staves. Again, this is another card of community and support. I feel here that they also I wonder if they've gone to therapy, if they've gone to group therapy, because there is this feeling of I'm getting support like I've never felt support before, but I feel it's also because they really have been opening up a lot more to people and sharing things with people, and then um, instead of them feeling like, well, people are going to judge me for when I tell them, no, they got my back. And they're like, they get angry for me because they protect me and they love me. And I feel like this is a big piece is this growth that because they're realizing I deserve more and I do have people that care about me that won't judge me for why did you put up with it for that long, or all this stuff that they had all this small chatter. They feel all this support, and I feel like that's why they're feeling this way, because they really are getting a lot of support from other people. Interesting, right? That's what else comes in here. It's been building up. Self-love, Ace of Cups, has been growing, so it really is more so about this. The Six of Swords, leaving old ways of thinking behind, moving to new ways of thinking. So therapy has really helped them. They've got to be in therapy with all this, unless they read a self-help book that like changed their life or something. And the Seven of Swords, yeah, realizing the betrayal, the lies, the deceit. All of this has really allowed them to see things so much more clearly, and the things that they would think. Um, That they're like, "Well, people are gonna think I'm crazy if I'm tell them this, that this is what goes on. It must just be in my head." And then the more that they shared it, the more they're realizing, "No, no." And I just this power that comes in, from all this, and that's what I feel is the source of it. I don't feel like there's, like, a specific event besides the regular blah, 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 just the same old that's been going on forever, right? Um, and but there is this um uh, clarity, because when you take the hidden things and bring them forward into the light, they really um everything seems so big and dangerous in the dark, but when you bring it out into the light, you realize it's not as scary as it is once you share it. And I feel like it's shared here with this Three of Cups and the Five of Stars, very much this support. So that's what I feel like is where it's coming from. I don't feel like it's like one specific thing that happens, like, all right, that's done, it's over. I feel like it's been this, like it said, this growing thing, one, two, three, that they're realizing things, and nothing new needs to happen because they've got everything they need in their memories already. These, they're like, nothing new needs to happen. It's just the realization of I deserve more is coming in. So hopefully that makes sense. Let's see what the fortune cookie comes in. Again, I'm going to go to a power of surrender energy here. All right. And we've got, yeah, surrender obsessive thinking. If you're obsessing about a person or a situation, turn the dilemma over to spirit. Doing so will help bring you clarity or even solve the problem. So I like that um, energy for them. It's like they're not letting it's like they're starting to enjoy their life a little more too. They're not focusing all their energy on the situation. They're not like, "This doesn't have to rule my life," kind of energy. So, that is what we have there. And, oh my gosh, it's 7:55. So, I'm gonna be headed off here and, like, I should be headed off right now. I need to take screenshots, but I will return everybody. So, at all the donations, um, I still have, what, 1, 2, 3, about almost 2 handfuls. So, I will, be back for, all of the readings. And once I'm done, like when I'm done here in a sec, I will post a pinned comment listing the readings I completed in this session, which were only donations. I didn't get to any free readings yet. And it will include timestamps. And we'll also do the same for the second stream when I come back. It'll probably be around 10 p.m. Mountain time because it's almost 8 o'clock now. So it'll be a couple hours. And then I will return in the description box the video or the stream. When I return, I will list the order in which I'm going to complete all the readings, so you guys can see that if you want to follow along. Otherwise, you could just come back after the stream is done, find your name, and you'll see your timestamp. And then you can just click on it, and then you'll be able to find your, it'll take you right to your reading. You don't have to like scroll through and try to find it either. So thank you guys again for all the thumbs up and all of your patience in getting to your readings. I know it can take a while, but we do try to do due diligence and get everyone the clarity they need. And I am so grateful. All right. Let me just highlight here. I want to make sure I'm not missing anyone. Okay, there we go. All right. I got you there, Leprechaun. I got your question there for the bus driver or the bus rider. All right. So I will be back, and thank you guys again so much for all the love and support. And remember, every second of every day, you truly are eternally and unconditionally loved by the mother and the father of all things, our creator. And of course, I love you too. So until I see you again, much love. Hang in there. Remember, have some fun, because why are we being so serious? It's a playground. Go play. All right. I love you guys. We'll see you soon.